What's up everyone, it's your name, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into something we all use every day but don't think much about, the internet. We're breaking down each layer, from the stuff you use daily to the parts you've probably never heard of. We're talking surface level, deep web, dark web, the whole deal. We'll uncover what makes each level unique, what you can find there, and why it matters. So, whether you're a tech whiz or just someone who likes to browse memes and order takeout online, this video is your guide to understanding the intricate world of the internet. Let's get started. Alright, first up, let's talk about the surface web. This is the internet you know and love. It's the stuff you see when you fire up Google, type in a search and scroll through pages of results. Think of it like the tip of the iceberg, the stuff that's visible and easily accessible to everyone. We're talking websites like Wikipedia, YouTube, Amazon, your favorite news sites. Basically, anything you can find with a quick search. It's estimated that the surface web makes up about 4% of the entire internet, which might sound crazy, but trust me, there's a lot more lurking below the surface. This is the part of the internet that's been indexed by search engines, meaning they've sent out their little bots to crawl through websites, scan their content, and add them to their massive databases. So, when you search for something on Google, it's basically looking through its index of the surface web to find what you're looking for. It's the most dynamic and accessible part of the internet, and for most people it's all they'll ever really need. But for the curious, there's a whole lot more to explore. Now, the deep web often gets a bad rap, probably because people confuse it with the dark web, which we'll get to in a bit. But the deep web isn't inherently good or bad, it's just deeper. Think of it like this. The surface web is like the open ocean, easily navigable, while the deep web is more like the ocean floor. It's still part of the same ocean, just less explored. This is where you'll find things like databases, cloud storage, password-protected websites, online banking systems, and even things like your email inbox. Basically, anything that requires a login or isn't meant to be accessed by the general public. Sometimes it's for privacy and security reasons. Imagine if anyone could just search Google for your bank account details. Not ideal, right? The deep web is estimated to be hundreds of times larger than the surface web, and while most of it is pretty mundane, it's still fascinating to think about all the information that's out there hidden beneath the surface, and that brings us to... Okay, now for the part you've all been waiting for, the dark web. This is the part of the internet that tends to freak people out, and for good reason. It's often associated with illegal activities, hacking, and all sorts of shady stuff. But, like the deep web, the dark web isn't inherently good or bad. It's just a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for both good and bad purposes. The dark web is a small part of the deep web that's intentionally hidden and requires special software to access. Most commonly, the Tor browser. Tor stands for the Onion Router, and it's designed to anonymize your internet traffic by bouncing it through a network of relays around the world. This makes it incredibly difficult to track where the traffic is coming from or going to, which is why it's become a haven for privacy advocates, journalists operating in oppressive regimes, and unfortunately, criminals. On the dark web, you can find marketplaces selling everything from drugs and weapons to stolen credit card information and fake passports. But you can also find forums for political dissidents, whistleblowers, and people just looking to communicate anonymously. It's important to remember that accessing the dark web itself isn't illegal, but engaging in illegal activities on the dark web is, well, illegal. Chapter 4. Academic Databases, a Scholar's Paradise. Alright, let's shift gears a bit and talk about a different kind of deep web territory, academic databases. These are treasure troves of information for researchers, students, and anyone looking to dive deep into a specific subject. We're talking about databases like JSTOR, PubMed, IEE, Explore, and countless others, each specializing in a particular field of study. These databases contain millions of scholarly articles, research papers, journals, conference proceedings, and other academic resources that you won't find on the open web. Now, accessing these databases usually requires a subscription, which is often provided through universities or research institutions. The great thing about academic databases is that they're curated and peer-reviewed, meaning the information you're getting is generally reliable and of high quality. Chapter 5. Government resources, from public records to classified intel. Next up, let's talk about government resources. Now, this is a broad category that encompasses everything from public records and legal documents to classified information and intelligence databases. On the surface level, you have government websites like those for your local DMV, the IRS, or the Social Security Administration. These sites provide access to public information, forms, and services that you might need to interact with the government. Then you have government portals that provide access to data sets, research, and reports on various topics. For example, the U.S. Census Bureau website is a goldmine of demographic data, while the National Institutes of Health website offers a wealth of information on health and medicine. And then of course there's the stuff that's not meant for public consumption: classified information, intelligence reports, military communications, and other sensitive data. Chapter 6. Private Networks, your company's digital fortress. Now let's talk about private networks. These are networks that are restricted to specific users, often within a company or organization. Think of it like your company's own little corner of the internet, shielded from the outside world. Private networks are used for all sorts of things, from internal communication and file sharing, to managing sensitive data and running critical business applications. They offer a higher level of security and control compared to the open internet, which is why they're essential for businesses of all sizes. To access a private network, you typically need to be granted permission and provided with login credentials. This ensures that only authorized individuals can access the network and its resources. Chapter 7. Intranets, the company water cooler. Now, within the realm of private networks, we have intranets. An intranet is essentially a private network that's specifically designed for internal communication and collaboration within an organization. Think of it like your company's own private social network, where employees can share news and announcements, access company policies and procedures, collaborate on projects, and even just chat with each other. Intranets are a great way to keep employees informed, engaged, and connected, especially in large organizations where it's difficult to communicate effectively through traditional means. Now, if an intranet is like your company's private club, then an extranet is like giving VIP access to trusted outsiders. An extranet is a private network that allows controlled access to external users, such as business partners, clients, vendors, or remote employees. It's a way to securely share information and resources with people outside of your organization without giving them full access to your internal network. Extranets can be a powerful tool for building stronger relationships with external stakeholders and streamlining business processes. Alright, let's switch gears again and talk about peer-to-peer networks, or P2P networks for short. These networks are all about cutting out the middleman and connecting users directly to each other. In a traditional client-server model, like the one used for websites, you have clients, which are your computers or devices, requesting information from a central server. But in a P2P network, there's no central server. Instead, each user acts as both a client and a server, sharing resources directly with other users on the network. This decentralized structure can be more resilient, as the network isn't reliant on a single point of failure. P2P networks are used for all sorts of things, from file sharing and video streaming to online gaming and cryptocurrency. And finally, let's wrap things up by looking ahead at the future of the internet. Now, predicting the future is always a tricky business, but there are a few emerging technologies and concepts that have the potential to fundamentally change the way we use and interact with the internet. One of the most exciting developments is quantum computing. Quantum computers are still in their early stages of development, but they have the potential to be exponentially faster than traditional computers at solving certain types of problems. This could revolutionize fields like medicine, material science, and artificial intelligence, and it could also have a profound impact on the internet, enabling new forms of encryption, communication, and data processing. Another technology that's already starting to disrupt the internet is blockchain. Blockchain could be used to create more secure and transparent systems for voting, supply chain management, identity verification, and much more. So, there you have it, a whirlwind tour of the different levels of the internet. Hopefully you now have a better understanding of the complex and ever-evolving landscape of the internet and the different ways it's used. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content.